Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. My name is Rachel, and in today's video, I'm doing a 24-hour readathon reading vlog. It has been quite a while since I've done a 24-hour readathon, so it felt very good to attempt a 24-hour readathon again. But as you will see by today's video, things go off the rails a little bit. We go places we have never gone in a 24-hour readathon vlog, let me tell you. I am filming this clip now after I have completed the 24-hour readathon, and yeah, you're in for a wild ride today. If you've never seen one of my 24-hour readathon vlogs before, typically what I do is I will split up the 24 hours over 2 days. So like Saturday, I will set 12 hours to read as much as I can in that 12-hour period. And then same thing on Sunday, I have this 12-hour period to read as much as I can. And typically I do find success with that. And I'm not gonna say that today's video was not successful, but it was a little bit bumpy. But I actually read quite a lot, and I take you guys along on all my thoughts and feelings and ratings for the books that I read. So let's just get straight into this 24-hour readathon. Hi friends, happy Saturday. So I ended up waking up at 5:30 a.m. this morning. Not my choice. I have no idea why that happened. But the good thing is I was able to start this leg of the 24-hour readathon very early. As you saw, I started it at 6:30 a.m. So I will read until 6:30 p.m. tonight. I'm already losing steam. I gotta be honest with you guys, it is noon right now and I'm so tired. I am going to have to break out the sugar-free Red Bull very soon. I fear I am holding on by a thread. And it is not being helped by the fact that the first book that I have chosen to read for this 24-hour readathon, I'm not loving. So the vibes at the start of this readathon are tired and a little bit bored, and we need to pick up the energy. But I am going to continue on with this. My mind could always be changed as things go on. Let's talk about my feelings of A Heart of Blood and Ashes by Mila Vane, and then my plan kind of for the rest of the day. So this is an adult fantasy romance, and in this book we are following two characters, Maddox and Yven. And in the beginning of the book, we meet Maddox. He is this warrior, and his parents are the king and queen of the realm. They end up getting killed by an enemy kingdom, and he ends up meeting the woman who has potentially lured them to their death. So he has this idea of kind of forcing her to marry him as punishment, also for potential political gain, but Yven has her own motivations and kind of goes along with that. So initially this does feel a little forced, but at the same time, it's really not. They're both very on board with having this marriage of convenience, and they both stand to gain a lot from it. So quickly, Yven joins Maddox and his warriors, and they're traveling across the realm. They're getting to know one another. And yeah, that's kind of the plot of this book. I do love Yven. That is our female main character. She is really amazing. And so it's kind of killing me that she's basically the only thing I'm liking about this book. But let me talk about her for a second, okay? She is so wonderful. She's a really sad backstory. She has been hidden away for many years. She has been abused by her brothers and her father. She's missing 2 fingers from the abuse that she received. She also has a shattered knee. So she's seen as this weak character, both physically and mentally from the outside. But she is so clever, so strong, so witty, and is very calculated in a really fun way. And while she has been through so much, she still stands toe-to-toe with Maddox, and she's just not fearful. And I just find her to be such a wonderful character that I absolutely love, absolutely rooting for. Really like her. She's experiencing so many new things that she has never experienced. She is seeing the world. She is meeting all these different people, and I'm enjoying her. So I am here for Yven, and that is basically it for this book. I'm so sad. This is a book that I've had my eye on for such a long time. I had really high hopes, but the things that are sticking out to me that I'm not loving about this book, number one, writing style is a little bit dense and the dialogue does feel a bit formal. I think some people might really like that writing style. I just haven't really felt super gripped by it. I also think just like the plot of this book is quite boring so far. Nothing has really happened. They're traveling across the realm. They're getting to know each other a bit. Maddox, our MMC, not crazy about him. I find him frustrating. And I'm just not invested in him, and I'm just not really invested in their romance. It is okay. And like I said, I really like Yven. So I'm rooting for one side of this couple, but oh my gosh, I am just bored. I am more than anything very bored by this book. don't care about where things are going to end up, don't care about the romance. I'm not excited about the budding tension between our characters. I'm just not connecting to this. So that is unfortunate. And the fact that I'm just like tired and then I'm reading a book that's a bit disappointing for me, I need to pump up the energy. My plan for the rest of the day, obviously I'm going to finish this and I'll let you guys know my thoughts. I don't know if I'll check in before I finish it, but I'll probably just finish it and give you guys my final rating and review. And then I think I'm going to pick up Fireborn by Rosaria Munda. That is a YA fantasy about dragon riders attending an academy. That is a tone shift. That is a total vibe switch. And I think that it'll be at least something very different from what I'm reading now. And I'm not saying that this is like a horrific book or anything like that. I'm just not the reader for it. I don't find it interesting. And I think that I just need to read something totally different in order to get my energy up, as well as probably drink a Red Bull while I do it. So that's the plan for the rest of today. I'm gonna finish this and then I'm gonna start Fireborn, and I'll talk to you guys soon. All right, book one of this 24-hour readathon is done. I am unfortunately gonna have to go with a 2-star rating. It's not for me. It's not my type of book. I didn't vibe with the storytelling. I didn't vibe with the writing. I was just kind of bored overall. That never really changed for me as the book went on. I will say there were some very beautiful love, what do you call that? Confessions, professions, whatever you want to call it. I was touched. I was touched by that, but it was not enough to save it. I think just the development of the romance also left me wanting more. But no worries, we can only go up from here. Like, scientifically, cosmically, things have to get better from here, right? I will be starting Fireborn by Rosaria Munda. Very excited about that. I will be cracking open a Red Bull and we will talk soon. All right, I am 40% of the way done with Fireborn. I am on page 173. Is this a safe space? Is this a safe space? Question one. Is this a safe space to say that I'm not really liking this either, you guys? It's better than A Heart of Blood and Ashes. It's definitely better than A Heart of Blood and Ashes, mainly because of the pacing. The pacing is a lot better to me. It's a lot more preferable. I feel like there's something missing here, and it really has to do with world building and just really establishing ourselves. I feel like things are very surface level and we kind of just like touch on things and leave them and drop them, and I'm not able to really get entrenched into the story with these characters because of that. And I don't know if that's like gonna continue on the whole book, but so far I've just felt very like away from a lot of the concepts in this book, and I want to know more. I want to go into more detail. I don't know. I just finished my reread of the ACOTAR series. I finished A Court of Silver Flames yesterday, and then A Court of Frost and Starlight the day before, and A Court of Wings and Ruin the day before that. So I've had like 3 banger books, and obviously they're rereads, so like I love them. Back to back to back. And then maybe I'm just like feeling slumpy from that. I don't know. But actually I do know. I'm not feeling slumpy. I just don't think I have selected good books for myself to be reading today in this 24-hour readathon. But that's okay. How I am framing this is I'm already seeing the clear spaces on my shelves from unhauling A Heart of Blood and Ashes, and potentially this. I don't know. I do like the characters. I really like Annie. Oh, Fireborn, if you don't know what it's about. I kind of already said we have dragon riders, we have Annie, and then we have Lee. They were orphans and they actually spent a lot of time together in the orphanage, but they come from like very different pasts. Lee actually came from like a very affluent family, and Annie and Lee's families were also, I believe, kind of like on different sides politically, but then there was a big uprising and it kind of evened everything out. And now as they are older, I think they're like 17, they're competing against each other to have like the top spot. So they're kind of rivals now, but there is a bit of an uprising occurring again. The powers that used to be want to play again. So Lee in particular is kind of dealing with the challenge there, and it's really just kind of testing where he wants to end up. And that is an interesting concept. I don't know, like I need more. I need more understanding and explanation. It's really hard when you can see that there's really good things here and it's like, wow, I really do want to know more about what has happened in the world and all of that. And I just feel like we're not getting that. Not enough for me to feel super, super excited about it and be really invested. Yeah. So we'll see. We'll see. I'm gonna finish this book today, and then tomorrow we're also gonna try to read 2 books, so I will do 4 books total for this 24-hour readathon. Fingers crossed. Tomorrow, I think I'm gonna start with Warrior Princess Assassin by Bridget Kemmerer. I'm very excited for that. And then also In the Veins of Drowning, which I believe is by Kaylee Cassidy. I could be wrong, but we'll talk about that tomorrow. Maybe tomorrow's just our day. Maybe today we just need to throw in the towel. I am of course going to finish this. I probably have like 3 hours left. I hope I have good news the next time we chat. Hello friends, so I am 75% of the way through Fireborn and I'm going to DNF Fireborn, which I'm really, really sad about, especially because I'm doing a 24-hour readathon and like the whole fun of a 24-hour readathon is reading as much as you can in this 24-hour period. And I want to give you guys as many thoughts on as many different books as I can during this challenge, but I'm just so not curious where this book goes. I am not invested in it. The more it goes on, the less I care. I think to the fact that I started today with a book that I wasn't super crazy about, but I did push through. I went ahead and finished that book, and then kind of having a similar experience with this book, I'm not interested. I already know I'm not going to continue on with the series and I just want to DNF it. I don't know. I haven't DNF'd in a while. It's hard for me to DNF. I feel a lot of guilt when I DNF, but being at the 75% mark of a book and genuinely just feeling like I do not have any interest in seeing where this goes, I just got to put it down. So I'm sorry to do that, but Fireborn, we're done. We're done with Fireborn and we are done with our first 12-hour period of this 24-hour readathon. So tomorrow we'll be starting fresh, 2 new books. Very excited about that. Today, oh my God, you know what's so funny? For my TBR jar prompt that I ended up picking Fireborn for, the prompt was pick a book that you have considered unhauling. And this is a book I've considered unhauling because I bought it years ago and I have literally had 0 interest in picking it up, but I've heard good things about it lately and I was like, oh, you know what, I'll give it a shot. I have definitely considered unhauling it and I need to read it. I need to see what it's all about. But maybe I was right. Maybe I was right. I don't know. No, it's fine. It is not a horrible book by any means at all. It's just not for me and I'm not going to force myself to read the last 25% because I'm just not invested in it and I just really, really want to read something great that I love. So tomorrow, that is the plan. We are getting a 4-star. That's all I'm asking for. I want a 4-star tomorrow, either in Warrior Princess Assassin or In the Veins of Drowning. I'll even take a 3.5. Honestly, I will not be too greedy. So very eventful day for us. Let's check the scoreboard really quick here. 12 hours of reading, 1 2-star read, 1 DNF. We're doing amazing, sweetie. We will have better luck tomorrow. I have really good feelings about In the Veins of Drowning in particular. I've heard amazing things about that book. Warrior Princess Assassin, I think is gonna be really fun. Even if I don't end up absolutely loving it and it's a 5-star, I do think I'm going to enjoy myself. And I have liked Bridget Kemmerer's books before. I think I gave one of her books 3.5 and I do remember enjoying her writing. I think I read Defy the Night by her and it was pretty good. It wasn't like the perfect book for me, but I can definitely see potential in liking one of her books. So fingers crossed. I will talk to you guys tomorrow for part 2 of this 24-hour readathon. Hello friends, happy Sunday. We are now officially in the second part of this 24-hour readathon. So I got up at 8 today. I'm gonna be reading until 8 tonight. And I have great news. I like reading again. I'm so happy. After my double flop yesterday, I am reading Warrior Princess Assassin by Bridget Kemmerer. I'm about 30% of the way done. This is so good, you guys. It is so much fun. It is so fast paced. It's action packed. There's tons of tension. We have 3 POVs. It is the exact type of like fantasy romance featuring court politics. that I love. I think it is done perfectly so far. I'm really, really excited to see how the story progresses, but I have just had such a strong positive reaction to the book right away. I am doing my makeup. I have a mirror right here, so I'm just gonna like keep getting ready while I talk to you guys about this book and why I like it so much. So not only is this an adult fantasy romance with court political intrigue, but this is also a fantasy romance that features an MFM romance. So everyone is a love interest for everyone. This is a polyamorous romance, and thankfully we get all three POVs of our characters, which I love. Multi-POV fantasy. Basically, our three characters, the warrior, princess, and assassin. The warrior is Kai. The princess is named Jory, and then the assassin is named Asher. So the princess and the assassin actually go way back. Asher was raised in the castle alongside Jory. His mom was the queen's like main kind of like maid, lady in waiting. And so Asher has known Jory his whole life. They lived in the castle together. They had a lot of fun together growing up, but tragedy strikes and Asher has to go out on his own when I'm guessing he's like a young teenager, and he becomes an assassin. He joins like an assassin guild. And so this takes him away from Jory. They don't see each other as much, but he will randomly like hop in to her room every few months from the window and say hi. They've always had a really strong friendship. There's definitely like some lingering feelings, maybe a crush there, but they've never really acted on it because they just have like such a different life and very different expectations. So they just have this very sweet friendship with a bit of yearning. And then we have our warrior. So our warrior is also the king from a neighboring kingdom, and his kingdom has like fire magic and it's actually on fire. It's not doing well. He can't really control it. So he strikes a deal with Jory's father and brother to marry Jory for political gain. The reason why they want to marry Jory off to him is because magic is waning in their kingdom, and Kai, the warrior, he does not know this. So he thinks like, oh, they have magic that can help us, but they're kind of like, oh, well, he has political might and magic that can help our kingdom. So deception on both sides. Jory does not want to enter into an arranged marriage, of course, and she's very fearful of Kai because he has a really bad reputation. They end up meeting, and there's definitely like hesitation, not really sure what's gonna happen, but there is sort of an initial attraction to them. But before they can even sign on the dotted line that they are getting married, Asher, our assassin, receives an anonymous order to assassinate Jory and Kai. So someone wants the princess and then the king of the neighboring kingdom to be dead. So they all find this out and they all run off together. Very reluctantly, Asher and Kai definitely have like this broody, tension-filled relationship. They both are at least attracted to Jory. They both feel a different duty to her, but there is very slowly some simmering tension built between them. It's like barely a whisper right now, but we can see little bits of it, and it's really great. I love both of the characters, and I love this like kind of forced to be on the run all together, even though they don't know Kai very well, and Asher and Jory haven't really been outside of the castle together at all. So this is all just like a very new situation for them. They all want different things, but they all kind of have to just go off together. So it's a really fun setup for the book, and I really like our characters. We've gotten like a lot of backstory already. Like I said, the multi-POV of it all just really helps to develop everyone, and I'm just so excited to see where this is gonna go. So I can't wait to keep reading. There's also definitely, I feel like, more mystery in regards to what's actually going on and why magic is waning and all of that. We haven't met Jory's father, the king, and I don't know if that's just because the author's like, nah, don't really care, or if he's going to like come into play at some point and there's gonna be more deception happening. I don't know. I'm really excited. I'm excited to see where this goes. And yeah, so very, very happy with Warrior Princess Assassin. I think this book is just going to be amazing, and I hope that I keep liking it as much as I do. So those are my thoughts so far on Warrior Princess Assassin. I will keep you guys updated. I'll talk to you soon. Bye friends. So I'm getting really close to the end of Warrior Princess Assassin. I am on chapter 28, page 311. So I have just this little bit left to go. I am still enjoying this so much. I'm pleasantly surprised by this book. I was really excited for it, but Bridget Kemmerer is just not an author I pick up too much. So I didn't really know how I was going to feel. And oh my God, I am really loving this. It is so much fun. The romance is fantastic. That is definitely like the shining light highlight for me with this book. All three of the characters are developing tension with one another. It is so fun. There is great banter, and we're also rounding each character out quite a bit. Particularly Asher, he is the assassin. We have learned so much about his backstory, so much to explain why he is the way that he is, why he does certain things, why he acts a certain way, why he says what he says, and he has a very, very heartbreaking backstory. I do just want to say, I wouldn't call this like a dark fantasy romance, but it definitely explores some darker elements, so please check the trigger warnings before you pick this book up. I didn't quite expect that, I think because like this cover, it's just like so cutesy and fun and all of that, but it's definitely an adult fantasy romance and some heavier topics are covered. But gosh, Asher's story is really heartbreaking, and he is just a soul who wants to be loved so badly but doesn't really know what that looks like, and he has been mistreated by so many people in his life, and I love him. His backstory added so much depth to the character, but then it also gives a lot of indication of what their kingdom is like and how things are for people. And that is a bit of a blind spot for our princess, Jory, because she is so privileged and she is so kept away from everything. And I think Asher's story just really helps to expand this plot line as a whole and just kind of lifts this cloud of perfect innocence that Jory really has in her head. So I love Asher. I think he's my favorite of the three. He's a great, great character. I will say like my only negative, it's not even really negative, but just maybe holds it back from being like an absolutely perfect book to me is the plot, the issues that each of the kingdoms are having and why the marriage was arranged in the first place. That has really like taken a back seat. We haven't really been exploring that as much. Now in this last part, I think we are going to talk about that a lot more and like why these kingdoms are having these problems and what's causing it and what's going to fix it and really moving those political aspects forward. I do think we'll see that more, but it's definitely been like absent. She hasn't been here, but I think that is going to come more to fruition now. So I want to see that. I do want to see the plot brought forward a little bit more. So I'm excited to see that play out. Maybe that'll be like a book 2 thing as well. But I love this book overall. I think it is fantastic. I also want to say I'm at like this 80% mark. Nothing has happened. Like romance wise, there have been some like lingering gazes, some like touches of like, you know, brushing the arm type of thing, but nothing has happened. So I would definitely say it's slow-ish burn. They have attraction to one another, and that's becoming clearer and clearer as the book goes on, but nobody has really acted on anything at this point. So that's fun. That's very, very fun. I don't even know. Maybe it won't happen in this book. I have no idea. Maybe that'll be something that happens later on in the series, but very great build up between our 3 characters. So I am going to finish Warrior Princess Assassin. I will give you guys my final thoughts, and then we will start our 4th book for this readathon, and that will be In the Veins of Drowning. Hello, besties. How are you doing? I am coming to you several days after the last clip that you just saw to let you know I kind of flopped on the 24-hour readathon, but it was not totally in my control. So here's what happened. I checked in with you guys, and then I kept reading Warrior Princess Assassin throughout the afternoon, and then I started getting a raging headache. Oh my god. And when I have a bad headache, like I cannot read, I can't look at anything, I can't focus. So then I just had to stop reading, had to take a break, had to be done with it. And that brings us here, you know, multiple days later, where I'm letting you know that I technically did not complete the 24-hour readathon. However, we're gonna keep the party going, okay? Because I did not technically read for 12 hours on Sunday. You know, I only read for a bit because I read some of this and then I stopped because my head was hurting. So like, did I fail the 24-hour readathon? Absolutely. But did I fail the 24-hour readathon? No, not really. And it wasn't my fault. And we're gonna keep going. So I did end up finishing Warrior Princess Assassin, and this was so much fun. Oh my god. I'm giving this book 4 stars. Not perfect. My biggest complaint with this book is the plot is not very robust, and I want to see more from that. I want to see more development there. This book is like what I would call a little more lighter, surface level plot, fun fantasy romance. And there's nothing wrong with that at all, but I would just love to see like a little bit more with the plot line developing, maybe in book 2, which I will definitely be picking up. This is definitely a series I'm excited about. The romance I thought was so great. We definitely have a lot more to be excited about in the future books, but I think what we did see was really fun, and I really like these characters and I'm invested in their journey. So 4 stars for Warrior Princess Assassin. So I have decided that I am going to read one more book for this 24-hour readathon that's not really a 24-hour readathon reading vlog, and that is In the Veins of Drowning by Kaylee Cassidy. This was originally part of the plan. My headache did not want me to read this. I've come out on the other side of it. I'm going to read it. So I have started this book. I'm like on page 38, so I don't have much to say. We are following a siren who is living on land, and she doesn't live a very happy life. She's kind of like a prisoner, and sirens are actually like executed and persecuted where she lives, so she has to be in hiding. Things are gonna pop off anytime there's like a mythical creature who is living somewhere where they're not supposed to be. Things are going to get revealed, and that's gonna kick our plot off. So I think that's exactly where this is going. I like the writing style, definitely gothic, definitely atmospheric, definitely giving me Rachel Gillig vibes. So I'm excited to keep reading, and I'll keep you guys updated on my thoughts. Okay, friends, so I am 50% of the way into In the Veins of Drowning, and I'm kind of just feeling like this is okay. Not a bad book by any means, but not really giving me a whole lot. I have kind of two things that I have locked onto that I'm not loving. Number one, I do feel that there is quite a lack of world building happening. And for a fantasy book, like I need that. I need to feel entrenched in the story, in the world. I need to know the lore. I need to know the 411. And I don't know, I just feel like we're not really getting as much as I would like. I do feel like we are skimming the surface a lot with that, and it's just not really getting me too invested in the story. I feel like there is a bit of a remove for me, and I feel like I'm at an arm's length to the story, and I want to be in it. I want to be right there with the characters. So that is something that I'm struggling with to connect. And then I do like our male main character. I think he's really, really fun. I think there's a lot of yearning there. I enjoy him. Our female main character, though, is slightly irritating to me. I'm not super crazy about her, which is upsetting. I want to absolutely love my female main characters. Yeah, I don't know. She's a bit irritating, and I think some of her decision making is a bit just kind of all over the place, and she's a bit all over the place. Understandably, she's been going through a lot, but this book just is not sticking out to me in any super, super strong way. I don't think it's absolutely terrible, but I'm kind of just like sitting in the middle here like, okay, this is all right. You know, I don't have too many feelings about it other than those disappointments. But there are some really beautiful moments of writing here that I'm definitely appreciating, and I think that this does have a great gothic tone. This is okay. I'm liking it, and I think I'm just gonna finish it. I'm gonna finish this book. We'll wrap up this 24-hour-ish, not really at all, actually, vlog, and I'll give you guys my final thoughts. So let me do that. We will talk soon. All right, friends, I have finished In the Veins of Drowning. I'm gonna go with a 3-star rating. This is like good, fine, not great, not a particularly memorable read for me. I enjoyed myself, but I didn't really latch on to anything, and I just wanted more. I walk away from this book really wanting more and not feeling like this book has left a super like deep impression on me, but it was okay. I can see why people like it, but I think it's just not for me. And with that, this 24-hour readathon flop fail continuation question mark is complete. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed. I had a lot of fun making this video, actually. I feel like it was real, okay? It was real, it was realistic. I tried to do a 24-hour readathon, but you know, we gave it our all. We really did. I hope that you guys had a great time. If you wanted to let me know that you made it to this point in the video, go ahead and leave the, is there a mermaid emoji? There's gotta be a mermaid emoji, right? If there's a mermaid emoji, leave it. If there is not, I know there's like an ocean wave, leave that one. Please make sure that you are following me on all of my social media. I have my TikTok, Instagram, and Goodreads linked down below. I also have a Patreon. That is where I host my fantasy romance book club. I also host reading sprints there. I post bonus videos. We are also doing a series read along for Amber V. Nicole's Gods and Monsters series. We do live shows for each book. And we're also going to be doing an autumn themed readathon later this month in October. So if you want to join us, that is linked down below as well. I really appreciate that you watched this video. I hope that you're having a fantastic day. I love you all so much, and I will catch you guys in the next one.